Hello and welcome, I'm James, and today I'm going to make a pasta that I learned from my brother-in-law Pepe, who's from Naples. It's pasta alla bolognese. Now many of you know pasta from Bologna, the true bolognese pasta, is made without tomatoes. But since Pepe's from the south, and all southern Italians adore tomatoes, we're going to make this bolognese with tomatoes. It's a very simple preparation. We have 1 can of San Marzano tomatoes, and I've just taken the can. It comes with the plum San Marzano tomatoes with the puree, and I've just crushed them by hand into this bowl. I have a pound of ground beef. It actually came from a local farm. And I have 1 chopped onion, not too finely chopped, just a simple dice. And I have 2 carrots about this size. And I'm just going to go ahead and quickly chop these guys up. And I'm going to chop them not too finely, nice little pieces. And we'll get these going with our onions and a little bit of olive oil. All right, so here's how we're going to get our bolognese base going. I've got a medium saucepan here. Take a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I've got it going over medium-high heat. And we're going to add our onions right into that, followed immediately by our carrots. Saute these guys in the olive oil. All right, so we're just going to stir these around and cook them for about 8 minutes until they're nice and soft and translucent. We don't want to brown them, so I'm going to add a little bit of salt to them to help them break down their sugars. And then once they're translucent, we'll go ahead and add our meat. And then we'll add our tomatoes, and I'll show you how we kind of put everything together, and then we'll lower the flame and cook it very slowly for about 4 hours. Now we're going to take our meat here, and we're just going to break it into pieces and just drop them in. And these will break down, even more. We want to give them like a little bit of a round shape so they can get just slightly brown. And again, we're not going to caramelize these. We're just going to cook them for a few minutes and get the outside slightly brown before we add our tomato sauce and water. And we'll just let these go for probably 5 minutes, just so that they're a little bit brown. The smell here is already incredible. So one thing you'll notice that I'm not adding any sort of herbs or any other spices to this dish. We're just going to use salt and pepper. It's really all about the meat and the slow cooked tomato sauce. So our meat's been cooking for about 5-6 minutes. It's just slightly brown. Now it's time to add our San Marzano tomato base. So I have my crushed tomatoes, and it's basically, 1 whole can, 28 ounces. And this is enough to serve 6 to 12 people, depending on whether it's served as a main course or an Italian tradition, a smaller sort of first or second course. So I'm just going to drop all of that in like that. I'm going to fill my can of San Marzano tomatoes about halfway up with water. And that water is going to allow us to cook the sauce for a longer period of time over a very low flame, and it's really going to lengthen the sauce. Our beautiful bolognese has just come to a boil. Let's lower the heat, cover it. I'm going to leave the cover just slightly ajar. You want to have it on the lowest, almost the lowest possible flame. So it's been about 3 hours. We've been slow cooking our bolognese here over a very low flame. Let's have a look at it. This is beautiful. I'll give it a quick stir. You can see it's reduced, the sauce is tightened. We've salt and peppered it along the way, and I probably stirred it every, 20 minutes or so. And let's get our pasta in the water. It's a very nice egg parpadelli, and so we're going to use that, cook it for a couple of minutes until it's nice and al dente. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of salt to my boiling water here. Couple of tablespoons. So let's get our beautiful parpadelli into the water and let that go for a couple of minutes. I've taken my bolognese up to heat. I'm going to take a little bit of really good quality extra virgin olive oil, and I'm just going to drizzle a tiny bit in and then stir it in off the heat. So now I'm just going to let that sit until we're ready to sauce our pasta. All right, I got my parpadelli here. I'm just going to put it right back into our pan. So I'm going to give the bolognese a quick stir and then take some of this sauce, this beautiful sauce, and then just start to incorporate it, bring it all together. Again, we don't want to over sauce this. Take a little more sauce here, and that should be about right. Mix that together, and there you have it. Beautiful bolognese, and we are ready to plate. Take some of the pasta. Very delicate pasta indeed. A little bit of that succulent meat. And now we're going to take a little bit of aged Parmigiano Reggiano. I always like to grate it to order. Now this is just going to be a wonderful, wonderful meal. Then at the very end, I take just a drizzling of really good extra virgin olive oil. I don't even garnish with parsley or anything. I just want to keep it simple. It's all about the meat and the noodle and the tomatoes. Let's give this guy a taste. It smells so good. That is delicious. Thank you all. Thank you, Pepe, for the recipe and for showing me how to do this. Give this a try when you have a chance. You're going to really enjoy it. Buon appetito.